So today we're going to do a watercolor floral for absolute beginners, and just follow along with what I'm doing here and you won't go far wrong. I've got a nylon round brush. This is a size 7 by Drawell, link in the description below. I'm using a sheet of Etcher watercolor paper from a pad by them. This is size A4, which is about 8 by 11 inches. It's rough. No, sorry, it's not rough. It's cold press and ideal for this. This is rather good paper, actually. I quite like this. It's on a pad, glued all the way around, so it won't cockle when you put water on it. Can't say fairer than that, really. And I'm using Kuretake paints. This is the Kuretake box lid. It doesn't say, it says Kuretake, I presume. Gansai Tambi paints. Very good. Information in the description below, and also in other videos I've talked about these quite a bit. Now I'm just going to do a bouquet, a simple bouquet of flowers, because that seems to be, I think that's a pretty good way to start to learn to paint, because flowers are very forgiving. They have no particular agenda, and you can go anywhere with a flower, really. So we'll start with a rose, and to do a rose you just need to hold your brush lightly about halfway down so it's nice and loose, and then just do strokes around a center. So start lightly, press down a little bit, so lightly, and then press down a little bit, and just make the strokes overlap, come quite close in like that, so you get a kind of irregular concentric circular design. And it doesn't have to be any more fussy than that. You can put a little bit more darker paint in if you want, to show up some of the petals a bit better, but keep some of it light, keep some of it a little bit darker. I've used rose pink there from the Kuretake box, which is quite nice that they have that colour. There's also plenty of pinks up here as well if you want to do it a little bit more intense. So for the next flower, we will go for this Carmen. This is, I think, what's it called? Rose Madder. Yes, so we'll just hold the brush to the side. So this way we were holding it upright. For this, we're going to go a little bit sideways and just bring in some petals like that, leaving a space in the middle. Keep the flower colour irregular. Don't try to even it out. Just put down one stroke and then move away and leave it to dry a little bit. Then we'll perhaps go for a slightly different red. This one here is, this is the Carmen. And perhaps we'll do a little rosebud over here. So just break the top a little bit like that. Bring something down like that. And we'll put some leaves in afterwards. So see how messy it can be? And it will look like a flower in the end. You wait and see. So maybe we'll go to the lilac and mix that in with a little bit of red. So that's a kind of slightly stronger pink. And again, excuse me, holding your brush to the side, put some petals in, just drop them in any old how. You don't have to be an expert to paint flowers. You don't have to be gifted to paint loose flowers at all. I'm going to then come back up the top here, and I'm going to do another rose up here, because I think that will probably balance things out a bit. Okay, so, and then maybe we put a little bit of darker in there. And put a little bit of darker in there too, so it runs, and don't play with it too much, just leave it to run at its best. Then perhaps we'll go for a kind of peachy colour down here and put in some big, painted with the side of the brush petals like that. And this peachy colour is very accommodating. It's a nice colour, basically, and we'll pop a little bit of orange in there too and let that flow. And maybe we'll switch to something a little bit contrasty. Maybe we'll mix up a little bit of a lilac-y kind of colour, and we'll just put some broken up lilac flowers down here. I don't know what that is, but it looks quite good in contrast to those other ones there. And then maybe we'll go for, again, a mauve. And perhaps we'll put that, should we put, no, let's put some smaller sideways petaled flowers here, like that. And a few more, a little bit lighter, just one stroke. You could call this one stroke watercolor if you felt like you needed a catchphrase. There we are. And I think perhaps we need another, perhaps a rose up here in lilac. And I'm going to paint it deliberately into the ones adjacent and make this one bigger. And then, let me see. Some mauve up here, a little one of those. Maybe two one-stroke flowers. I'm just going to interrupt myself here to tell you about my Skillshare discovery for this month. Spencer Falls is from New Zealand and he calls himself the Unlikely Florist. What I love about Spencer's class is that he obviously loves flowers the way we watercolour painters do. By watching his class, you'll see beautiful arrangements, perfect to be painted, and he shows you how to put together beautiful bouquets the way we want to do it with paint and paper. If you're not familiar with Skillshare, it's an online learning platform with thousands of classes for you to enjoy. Every week, there are new classes for you to explore, and because Skillshare has kindly sponsored this video, if you're one of the first 1,000 people to sign up using the unique link in the description below, you'll get 1 month's free trial. I love being a member of Skillshare because if ever I'm short of inspiration, I know I'll find some on their platform, which is ad-free and even has subtitles in Spanish, French, Portuguese and German. Skillshare membership has so much to explore in so many creative areas, from art through music to Zen meditation. You'll find support from other creatives, and you'll experience real personal growth with a Skillshare membership. So why not give Skillshare a try now? Perhaps starting with flowers from Spencer Falls, who is absolutely adorable. Please check him out. A month's free membership could open many new doors for you. And now, let's get back to our painting. Now I think it's probably time to start thinking about some leaves. So just picking up any shades of green. You don't have to clean your brush off in between when you're doing, especially when you're doing the leaves, but when you're doing any kind of watercolour, don't bother to clean your brush in between. Just pick up a colour, go to the next one when you need some more colour, and that way you'll find the whole thing will look much more realistic. So now we just do the leaves with 2 strokes like that. Pick up a different colour. This set is really nice because it has lots and lots of different shades of green. So if you don't have much confidence with mixing colours, you don't have to worry. You've got lots to choose from. And the way I do it is I just pick up one colour, then I dab into the next one, maybe use a bit of water. You'll develop your own method of doing this. So basically what you do is you just go round the picture, putting in leaves where you can fit them in, where you think that they might look nice. Use some dark green and some light green. Put them in little sets like this as well as having them individual. And try not to go too much for bluish colours, because bluish, not that kind of phthalo blue, bluish colour, because that's a little bit harsh, not very realistic. If you want to, you can add some blue to your green and your yellow, which will give you a darker shade if you want to put in some darker ones. And you can also just drop a darker colour in while they're wet, and then that all spreads out nicely. Don't watch it, just put it in, go away, do something else. What am I going to do? I'm going to put some more of this colour, but with a little bit of pink in it, I think. And I'm going to put some broken up flowers down here. Not broken up flowers, but sort of, you know, like wisteria, something like that. And then we might want to come back and do the centres. So let me see, what should we have for the centres? We could start with a very dark purpley colour rather than black. Just do dots like that, just kind of drop in some irregular things like that. And then maybe for the beige one here, we might want to go for an orangey brown colour perhaps. And this one, maybe a bit darker. Not looking for anything even remotely accurate, just an impression. These ones down here are going to want a dark mauve too. And you could make that darker still by adding a bit of black to it. If you want, you can always add black. Traditionally, people used to say, oh, don't use black because it's ugly or something, but actually it's a very good colour for making shadows on your paints. And yeah, no, I don't believe that is correct. And we want to add a few dark purple leaves. Oh, and we want here some dark centres. It's always a good idea to have centres. On this we can put a few like that, and maybe on here too, perhaps not. Just build it up as you go along. I think you might want to come in here with a bit more colour. Make that a little bit pinky. Don't want to mess that up though. And maybe strengthen the lilac here a little bit. Bring that out a little bit further perhaps. Maybe put a few out here. And then always go back to where you started and see whether you want to strengthen any of the other colours. Like here, for example. Here, maybe. And then at that point, you probably want to just leave it to dry and see how it turns out. So there we are, that's finished now. So one super quick bouquet of lovely summer flowers to celebrate the passing of the seasons. If you enjoyed that, give us a like and subscribe, and don't forget to turn on notifications because we're specialising in beginners and I want to help all of you who've never picked up a brush before to get really excited and interested, and we've got lots and lots of things to share with you as we go up towards the Christmas season. So speak to you again soon. See you tomorrow, hopefully, and bye for now, everyone. Bye-bye.